Today, we are diving into something super important: how to break a fast in a way that's actually good for you. And we're not just guessing here. We're using the official dietary guidelines from the Gambia as our map. Okay, picture this. You've been fasting all day, the sun is going down, that first bite, that first sip, it's everything. But what's the right way to refuel? What should you actually be putting on your plate to replenish your body without, totally overwhelming it? Well, it turns out there's a really solid answer. We're going to be looking at the official food-based dietary guidelines from the Gambia. This isn't just some random advice. It's a science-backed, culturally aware guide designed by health experts for an entire country. So, what makes these guidelines, the FBDGs, so special? Well, they were actually developed with local foods and traditions in mind. They were tested across the whole country to make sure they're practical and that they actually work for real people. That makes them an incredible resource for all of us. All right, let's get down to it. We are literally going to build the perfect plate to break your fast step by step. And we're using the Gambian guide as our blueprint. The whole thing really comes down to 5 key food groups. We've got our staples for energy, veggies for nutrients, fruits for hydration, legumes and nuts for protein, and then a little bit of animal foods, but in moderation. Let's break it down. First things first, staples. Your body needs to get its energy back, right? But you want to avoid a huge sugar rush. That's why things like rice, millet, cassava, and sweet potatoes are just perfect. They're complex carbs, so they give you a steady, slow release of energy. It's exactly what your body needs to gently transition out of fasting mode. Next up, we pile on the veggies, and we're talking about all sorts of great stuff here. Tomatoes, cabbage, moringa, even local leafy greens like karang karang. These are absolutely packed with the vitamins, minerals, and fiber your system has been craving all day. Super important for recovery and getting your digestion back on track. Now for a bit of natural sweetness and, crucially, hydration. This is where fruit comes in. The guidelines point to amazing local options like baobab, kalumba, ditok, and jujube. These give you natural sugars for a nice, gentle energy lift, plus a ton of micronutrients, all without that awful crash you get from sugary snacks. Okay, now we need some protein and healthy fats. And this is where plant-based powerhouses like beans, groundnuts, and cashews come into play. They give you that essential protein for muscle repair, but just as important, they help you feel full and satisfied. That's key to not overeating after a fast. And for the final piece of the puzzle, let's talk about animal foods. Things like fish or lean meats can definitely have a place on your plate, but the key word here is moderation. We're talking smaller portions, prepared in healthy ways. Think grilled or stewed, not deep fried. And you can really see the science behind this balance right here. If you look at the recommended portions for a typical diet, it's so clear where the emphasis is. Staples, fruits, and vegetables make up most of the plate. Legumes, nuts, and animal foods, they play important but much smaller supporting roles. Building that perfect plate is one thing, but it's also about what you decide to leave off of it. Sometimes what you don't eat is just as important as what you do. So what should you steer clear of? The 2 big ones are sugary drinks and heavy deep-fried foods. Why? Because they can send your blood sugar through the roof and put a huge strain on your digestive system. Basically, they can undo a lot of the great metabolic benefits you got from fasting in the first place. Okay, I know that was a lot to take in, so let's just boil it all down to 3 simple, easy-to-remember rules that you can use every single day. Rule number 1, hydrate, but do it slowly and consistently. Don't just chug a liter of water. Number 2, diversify. Make sure your plate is colorful and has a good mix of those different food groups we talked about. And rule number 3, moderate. Eat slowly, actually listen to your body's signals, and stop when you feel satisfied, not completely stuffed. It really helps your body ease back into things. At the end of the day, it all comes down to this simple but really powerful idea. Fasting is an act of discipline, an act of respect for your body. So shouldn't breaking your fast be the same way? So I'll leave you with this question. The next time you're getting ready to break a fast, take a look at your plate. How are you going to use these ideas to build a meal that truly nourishes and respects your body and all the hard work it just did?